Welcome to another episode of In Your Face podcast with me, Khwati Gaya. Today I have Mogorosi from Diamantfeld Primary School. Welcome to In Your Face podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
No. A pleasure. It's a pleasure. I want us to start this conversation. It's not an interview. I always tell people that it's not an interview, having a conversation. And we need to start it differently this time. I just have a few questions that I would like to ask you. It's just ice-breaking questions. I prepared these this morning. One thing you can't start your day without. What would that be?
That's a very simple one. Yeah, you can never start your day without prayer. I can never start my day without prayer, meditation, talking to God, even if it's just lying on the bed and just thinking, wow, I'm awake. And just remembering a scripture and then praying. Yeah.
A best school event between sports day, awards day, cultural day, or graduation?
Is it now my school or when I was in school?
I think yours.
Where I'm teaching right now?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm more of a cultural person.
Okay.
So I enjoy cultural activities. I'm wild on stage.
Okay.
When I get on stage, I'm becoming alive. So the best day for me as a teacher will be a cultural day.
Okay.
That's where everything just in me just becomes alive.
Are you a strict teacher or a very soft teacher?
Am I strict? I am. I try by all means to strike a balance. So you cannot be too strict because you lose some of your students. Also, you cannot be too soft because then you're going to lose some of your students. So you strike a balance, you become strict so that they can be on the way that you want them to go. On the other hand, you become soft, you listen, because you need to attract the learners towards you so that they can confide in you and so that you can actually develop a relationship, because teaching is actually relational. It's about a relationship, yes. So you can't be too strict or too soft.
Tea or coffee?
I'm trying to get out of coffee. I'm a coffee lover, but I'm trying to get out of coffee because really, I don't know, something about coffee just that makes me to cough. But your coffee is divine. The taste of coffee, the smell of coffee, sugar and milk, it just makes coffee to just be tasteful. But I'm trying. I'm transitioning to tea.
Okay.
Yeah, black tea, all those teas, green teas and whatever. But my favorite tea is actually rooibos, but it's very weak. So when I need a bit of caffeine, so I'm trying to transition to tea instead of coffee, because coffee, I take it because of caffeine and the taste. But when I need that spark of caffeine, then I try to do green tea and all of that.
Now, is Mem an introvert or an extrovert?
Yeah, you should have already seen. My stats has already told you. I mean, just the ice breaking is telling you what type of a personality I have and character, the kind of person that I am, extreme extrovert.
Okay.
But there's a but there. I think my spiritual growth is teaching me to tone down at certain areas, certain spaces, certain situations. So I'm not just gonna go boof. If I'm not familiar with people, situation, and whatever, my spirituality will tell me, tone down, because you are in a confined space where You don't have to give access to everybody.
Yeah.
Your energy is very important. So I am aware of the energies, and I'm aware of my energy. So in certain spaces, I will just close up. So that is growth from my spirituality. Yeah, it helps me to really protect myself. Because extrovert, they can be vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yes, they can be vulnerable. So you need that spirituality and say,
Yeah, let's go deep into it.
yes.
Tell us about Mogorosi.
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 Yeah, Mogorosi. When you met me as the principal of Diamantfeld. That's when you spoke to me about this interview. So you basically was like Mogorosi, I've seen what you've done. I've seen your passion regarding learning, regarding teaching, regarding learners, education, and all of that. So Mogorosi, yes, I really don't like the title, principal, because I try to be down on earth, down on the ground. For me, a principal it's not a title, but it's a calling.
Okay.
A calling. Teaching is a calling. Yeah. So I'm called to teach.
Okay.
And I'm called to nurture.
Yeah.
I'm called to just develop others, develop learners, spot potential, and develop it. Develop people with lots of potential. There's lots of people, lots of educators, lots of learners with lots of potential. Yeah. And somehow we all need people that spots us and sees us and nurture us. So I'm that type of a person that will do that. Before this entire interview, we had a nice conversation regarding kids.
Nice. Wow. Yeah.
Very interesting conversation. I'm like, this is the conversation that I would delve into when it comes to children, when it comes to the development of our children, and how they change from one stage to the other, whether we are aware or not. It is important that we must be aware. So Mogorosi is that type of a person that will see and will notice the changes, the transitioning, the development of kids from one stage to the other. What makes them to change? I would want to go into a brain of a child and understand what is in your brain, what's happening in your mind, what made you to change from this person to this person. And then from there on, go and make a research on the background of a child. What made that child to behave in this way? What made this child to be reacting in this way? What is the background? What is happening that is actually causing the child to react in that way? So Mogorosi is this person who, like I said, going back to our conversation, we have this thing of saying, this is how I grew up. So I'm not going to raise my children like this because I grew up in this way. But sometimes, like you said, we overcompensate, and that's where we spoiled our kids. And we mess them up. Sometimes we mess our kids. But Mogorosi is this person who also grew up with her own shortcomings, own shortfalls. And as a child, you realize, wow, I am going to be the person that I never had growing up. Okay. I'm this person that is standing up for others as children that I never had growing up, to protect this child, to show this child the possibilities of doing things differently. instead of following the status quo that is not actually benefiting anybody. It's just a routine that everybody is doing, but it's not really changing lives. It's not benefiting your life. It's not benefiting your parents' life or your loved ones' lives. So I believe that God, chose me to be a teacher for those reasons, because I'm a very compassionate person, and I am an empathetic person, a deep empath. I feel deep. I feel your pain deep. I feel the children's pain deep, and I feel your joy deep. I feel your victory. When there's victory, yeah, we feel it together. As a leader of the prefects, your child was a prefect in my school. So I would normally talk to them and say, listen, we stand together, we cry together, we feel the pain of each other together, and we rejoice on each other's victories together. So that's the type of person that I am. Yes, I normally don't see myself as a boss, although at school we have this boss day, and the deputy principal will say, it's the boss day, we must acknowledge the boss, and I would say, I don't see myself as a boss. However, I see myself as a leader, because there's a certain authority that is given to a leader, to leadership. Leadership is a responsibility. Boss, there is no much of a responsibility. In my concept, if you're a boss, it means you cannot be empathetic because you're a boss. Leadership brings you to how God is explaining leading.
Okay.
Yeah, how you lead. You lead with responsibility, accountability, empathy, compassion, all of those character traits of leadership, and most of all, sacrifices, because you get to sacrifice yourself a lot for the others that are coming behind you. You are leading everything and everybody, and there are times where you will sometimes need wisdom, and the only wisdom that you must get is from God. So I'm leading knowing that there's somebody who's leading me. There's a higher power that's leading me, that's guiding me. And sometimes I have to pause and wait and ask, where do we go from here? Because I cannot mislead these ones. I'm here, I need you before I can move. I normally tell my deputy, I remember telling her, ma'am, do you realize that sometimes I take long to make a decision? And she says, yeah, I see that. I said, because I'm careful. I'm careful to make the wrong decisions that will affect everybody negatively. So in order for me, there are some days where she will come and say, man, you must do that. I'm like, no, wait. I'm not going to give you an answer now. I need the Holy Spirit to tell me what to do exactly. And then I know I'll be frustrating her. I'll be frustrating other members. But when the answer comes, everybody knows this is it. We are going that way. We do it without any doubt. So when we venture into that, when we do the plan, when ultimately the plan comes to fruition, then we know it was the right thing to do. So Mogorosi is this person that totally and wholly depends on God. In her way of life, in her way of leading, in her way of being a teacher, way of relating to anyone else, because the source of strength is Christ Jesus, and that's where I run all the way.
Okay. Now you mentioned some of your characteristics. Now, what are some of the characteristics that make a good teacher?
Number one, you must have a love for the children.
Okay.
Yeah, you must love children. Number two, you must be able to be open enough to welcome every child as an individual, not generalizing. You must be able to see those children as if they were your own children, like your blood children. You must be able to ask yourself a question: what if this was my child, and someone else was teaching my child, and someone else was treating my child the way I'm treating this child? You must have patience, because teaching is all about patience. Teaching can rip your patient off. So you must have a lot of patience, and then you must also understand that teaching is not about money.
Yeah.
It's not about your salary. It's not about collecting a salary. It's a calling. So teaching is a calling. Understand that whatever you are giving, you're going to get it from above in another way. Not necessarily from the parent of the children that I'm teaching, but because it's a calling from above. So it means you will be paid from above, so one way or the other. It's either your children will prosper in a way that you are like, no man, I did not have the means to sponsor my child the way I see he's been sponsored in life. So it is the way of God saying, well done, my faithful servant in Diamantfeld, for serving these souls in the way that I would want you to serve them. So those are the characteristics. I think there's a whole lot that I can mention, but those few are just a few. You know, you must be empathetic. You must be able to relate to our kids. You must be emotionally intelligent. Yeah. Because if you're not emotionally intelligent, how will you be able to see the difference between this child emotion today and yesterday? This child is changing, or this child is experiencing some problems. You as a teacher, you are always aware and alert of what's happening in the classroom. So you must be aware and alert all the time.
Okay. Ma'am, let's go into your upbringing. How was your upbringing?
I think we must, what is this generation names? I'm the Gen...
you know the 1Ks. Okay, good.
No.
Come on, 1K. There's the 2Ks.
The millennium. There's a millennium. I'm coming before the millennium. The Gen is X. Yeah, I think we are the Gen. I'm the Gen X. It's the Gen X, then the millennium, then the Gen what?
Gen Zs.
Gen Zs, yes, these ones.
Yeah.
The new ones.
Yeah. The 2Gs.
Yeah, those ones. So at that generation, I think all of us, we were brought up under strict parenting. Our parents were very strict. I'm talking particularly about my own parents. My father was a very, very strict person, to a point where sometimes you thought, "Hey, man, this is not on," you know. When apartheid was gone and the new dispensation was introduced, and they were speaking of parents are not supposed to hit their kids, and parents are not supposed to do this, and teachers and what, when corporal punishment was abolished and all of that. And I'm like thinking, if it was that time when I was raised, most my father would have been to jail. You know, because he was extremely strict. So he would have been to jail because of the way he was really strict. And I think that for me, like I said, we mentioned earlier on, you can be raised in the same house, right, by the same parent, and then 4 or 5, whether you're 5 children or whatever, you all turn out differently.
Yeah.
You know, the one would be because of the strictness of the father, the obedience. You know, you literally and automatically just become obedient, and you just become this submissive person. You understand? You become this meek and mild person. But all the meek and mild and whatever, sometimes it's not your character, it's how you were shaped. You understand? You were shaped by this thing, that you are going to be submissive. Sometimes it can be a disadvantage, because now how you were raised is going to allow you to behave the same way outside.
Yeah.
Where anybody can just step on you, and because you have been molded to be the submissive person, now you are submitting to every second. You understand? So it can be a disadvantage somehow, but it can also be an advantage, because to the elders you always submit, you always respect, you always think of, this is not on, I'm not going to speak to the elders in that way, you know. So it has its disadvantages and advantages. So I think, like I mentioned earlier, was it not because of Christ, I would have probably been a doormat to everybody, because of the submissiveness, mild, meek, and people tend to know you from that standpoint. This is Rochelle, forgetting that you are evolving every day. Your life is evolving every day, and your life evolves not because of yourself. Once you really receive Christ, there's a major transitioning, and there's a major evolution that happens. Spiritual evolution, character building, all of those, personality, you really start to find yourself, and you are able to shed between how you were raised. You take what is good from how you were raised, you and you like sort of remove what is a disadvantage. But all of those things are good, because now you have how you were raised, and you have Christ, who is reshaping how you know, all the things that were not going to allow you to become the person that Christ actually wanted you to be. So yes, I am really grateful of, now that I'm an adult, now that I've got morals, I've got values, I've got I understand that humanity is important. Now that I understand that respect is important. Now that I understand that generational blessings and generational legacy is important. I am grateful for that level of strictness that sort of shaped me, and then when Christ took over, it just became something else. You know, I am this person that is now. The suppression that was brought by the strictness, because it does suppress. If you are, I'm an extrovert by nature, but now sometimes the strictness can make that extrovert to just, but then Christ says, no, I did not make you to be like that.
There you go.
Go. There you go. There you shine. Because that's how you were made. That's how you were created. But the world is reshaping us. And we must be careful of how the world is reshaping us. So, and that reshaping is coming through parents, friends, relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, sister, brother, siblings, colleagues. They reshape you. But then you need to consistently remind yourself, hey, go back to the source of your life. Because he's the one who said you are this person, this person, this person, and that's how you're going to be. So yes, we were not We didn't have many privileges as children. We went to normal schools. We didn't go to private schools like other kids. We grew up, we were those type of children that we were raised by the community, you know, the neighbors. You know, the neighbors would be also our parents. So we grew up respecting every parent, every adult. They were our parents. So we would ask from neighbor to neighbor. If there is no bread at home, we ask next door. We get bread. Hey, 2 slices of bread, butter, please. Yeah. If they don't have 2 slices of bread, butter, sugar, if you don't have sugar. So we were raised like that. And those are the things that I really miss. At this moment where we have neighbors. I'm now staying in town, and
it's high walls.
It's high walls. Like you can't ask sugar. You know, I'm able to afford sugar, but I don't want to go to the shop now. I want to ask sugar. That's how we were raised. Like, so when my neighbor moved in, so I was screaming, you know, from the house. Hey, I hear that your name is Lorato. I want to see you because I want us to still ask from each other. I still want to ask from you. I know we can afford. We are now at the stage where we can afford sugar and mill and whatnot. But I still want to ask. I still want you to ask from me, please. We are not going to just because we are living in town. We're not going to leave how we were raised. Those are the things that made us. Those are the things that just makes us to be one. You know, we united and all of that. And so Loretta was like, no, it's fine, you can ask, I will ask. And so we have that type of a relationship with Lorato, and there's another one, you know, I'm the one who would go to them and say, hey, I'm Rochelle, I moved in here. We are neighbors. You must ask from my house, I will ask from you. So that is what shaped us. As children growing up. We were taught to take care of each other. So we are taking care of each other with no pride, with no jealousy, with nothing that is going to hinder our relationship as humans, because we humans, we are all from the same God, we are all from, you know, the same creation. So we have a responsibility of taking care of each other, irrespective of what they have and what we don't have. We are the type of children that grew up going next door to watch TV. Yes, because not all of us had TVs at the same time. So at one point, one household would have TV and we would pay 50 cents to go and watch TV. But later on, you are not now going like 5 meters to watch TV. So the neighborhood now is they getting their own TVs. So you would go next door, they wouldn't ask you 50 cents to pay. So you would go next door, watch TV, and so on and so forth. If we had visitors and the house was full, we would go next door. Some visitors are coming, can we ask for space for them to go and sleep? They would do the same thing. And we are still like that. That's how really life, hardship shaped us. So, and it shaped us even into today's life where there's a financial struggle. If there is a financial struggle, you would know how to utilize your finances. You're not afraid to go and, you know, you're not afraid to eat pap and morocco. You're not afraid to eat chicken livers. You're not afraid, because that is what shaped you. And there's nothing wrong with not living a extremely extravagant life. That's how my life, my growing up shaped me. I realized that extravagant life is not that important. What's important is how we care for each other, how we share the little that we have. How, when I was the first one to graduate at home as a firstborn.
Okay.
And then, so I had a responsibility to make sure that others are also getting independence financially.
How many kids were
We
there?
4.
Okay.
We 4 firstborn. I'm the firstborn, then 3 a brother.
Okay.
So I had a responsibility to make sure that everybody is getting their financial independence and not depending on me all the way. So yes, but that's how we grew up.
But ma'am, how important is it for us as parents not to overcompensate? I'm taking this to the conversation that we had
Earlier on.
earlier on. How important is it for us parents not to overcompensate when it comes to our kids? Because we tend to want to do things that we did not have access to or to enjoy.
Yeah.
Now, what are the dangers, let me put it, what are the dangers of overcompensating as a parent?
Sure. It is really extremely important not to overcompensate.
Yeah.
Because the dangers are there. Remember, when you overcompensate, you are doing it based on your own wounds.
Yeah.
You are busy with your own wounds.
You're healing your
You are busy bleeding, and you are bleeding onto this child. You are trying to heal in a wrong way, because you're not supposed to be healing on someone else. You're supposed to go to therapy, or you're supposed to go to counseling. You're supposed to meditate on the word of God. You're supposed to ask God, Lord, what? The Bible says the heart, above all things, the heart is the most devious one in comparison to any other organ. The heart is wicked. So it's carrying a lot of wickedness that we are not even aware of. When I saw the scripture, I'm like, wow, this is so deep. Because we think we know our hearts. We do things thinking that we are doing the right thing. But sometimes in the eyes of the Lord is wickedness. It's pure wickedness. And that wickedness is actually damaging. Now you are pouring your damaged heart onto your child, thinking that you are doing the right thing. And God is looking at us like, yo, that wickedness, overcompensating. God never overcompensates. He gives little by little to his children. Because he knows when he can give everything, we are going to waste. Because we are not matured enough to handle the blessings. And that is what we are doing with our kids. They are not mature enough to handle the overcompensation. And they end up taking that, what we are giving them, whether it's material, whether it's finances, whatever. And they end up abusing it because they were never taught. Now, you were never also taught.
Yeah.
So you are doing this out of ignorance because nobody actually taught you. Yeah. And you're thinking, just because my father did not give me this, I'm going to give it to my child because I don't want my child to grow the way I grew. Yeah. There's truth, certain level of truth to that statement. I don't want my child to grow the way I grew, yes. But what point of reference are you raising your child? If it's not your father or your mother's, there must be another point of reference. There must be another source. So it's not there because that one hurt you. Now you are taking another. Which one? So you must ask yourself which one. Which one is it? So the best way to do it, saying I don't want my child to grow like I grew up, I'd rather go to God because that's the best source. He will show you how to grow your child because he knows your child better than you know your child. He knows the weakness, the strength, the whatever points that your child are going to use, either to his or her disadvantage or advantages. So overcompensating is very dangerous, because you are nurturing your child in blindness. You are completely blind, and you are giving them the material things. But you know what you're forgetting? You're forgetting their emotional needs, because you are overcompensating on the material, but you're not checking their emotional needs. Are they growing? Where are they? As you are giving them 3,000, 5,000, whatever, emotions, where are they? Spiritual, where are they? Psychological, where are they? Even the money can damage them psychologically. These materials can damage them psychologically. So you are actually busy feeding them this in order to damage this. Psychological, emotional, spiritual, they are not being fed. So these ones are lacking. That's the danger of overcompensating. We must still, as parents, refrain from overgiving our kids. And we need to get to a point where we understand. I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. Ne?
No.
Am I good?
No.
Is it fine?
It's fine.
I was, a few years ago, I was given the opportunity to do Bible study, 3-year course. And I think, was it the first year or the second year, I can't now remember, where the module was speaking about the developments of children from all ages, how they develop from grade R. They focused on grade around 5 years, 2 years, from 2 years and on, up until 13, how a child develops. And I was so excited because by then my child was a teen, 13. So it helped me to understand how to respond to whatever moods I would see him. So it made me aware, to see, the moods. When they are 13 years, what I picked up, because he was 13 year old by then, what I picked up from the Bible. Remember, God created them, so He knows what's happening in their bodies. So it was good to know, human anatomy from that level. Like, okay, now I see. But I would also understand why my parents were so angry with me when I was going through this. I wish they knew. They were strict unnecessarily on me when I was just going through life-changing stage. So the module was explaining that when the child reaches the age of 13, it's where they begin to develop. The hormones are overworking. Everything in their system is working. They are confused. They are trying to find themselves. Age 13, 14, 15. So those are the crucial stages where parents must be vigilant. So learning that, I was vigilant. I became vigilant, noticing everything. So the one thing that also I learned was he was sleeping a lot. As a normal traditional parent, if you sleep a lot at that age, hey, why are you sleeping? You must wake up and blah, blah, blah. And that module helped me to understand why I had to leave them to sleep, because the body, that module clearly stated that they are tired. The body is tired. The body is working. It's overworking. So they need to sleep. At age 30, when you see them sleeping, they are not lazy. They are not being full of drama. Like parents say, hey, you are full of drama. What you are sleeping? It's because last night you were watching movie all night. Now you are sleeping. The body is overworking. They need to sleep. So I would literally after school make my son to sleep. So we were the day sleepers. So he ended up becoming like me. We were the day sleepers. Sleep after school, sleep. We take naps so that in the evening we are fresh. So so my son is like me. Even today we take naps and we work. We take naps and we work. Because that's how the body was created. the body needs to rest. But parents are unable to do that, because we are not educated spiritually. Now, when I say spiritual, I mean the way God has created us. Okay. So we need that type of knowledge. And you also know how to not overcompensate, because when you do this, you might be there might be a deficiency on this other area. So check all areas. Children are not matured enough to handle financial responsibility. We must teach them, we must walk them into it. We must shape them into handling finances, whatever material. But I know today's parents, they overcompensate on finances and thinking that, I'm just doing this because I did not receive it from my parent. Whatever my child wants now, I'm going to give. No, you are spoiling the child, because that child has friends outside. And that child becomes the target of the friends outside. Those children, maybe at home they're poor or they're respecting their parents, they're not going to demand money from their parents. But now we have this child who's getting everything that they want from their parents. So now he or she becomes the target, because these ones are coming towards him and say, no, we know that we will eat. You understand? And then we are also exposing them to drugs. We're exposing them to exploring with things that they shouldn't. But because they have the means, they have the access. Overcompensation is one of the means that gives them access to these things. And because now I've got 3,000, 2,000, whatever, there's no accountability. I can just tell my father that I bought 1, 2, 3, 4, and the rest we're just going to experience drugs and whatever. And remember, you are doing this to please your child. You are doing this to curb what you did not have. You are doing this to please your bleeding, to heal your bleeding, but it's not healing. It's just a temporary gratification. It's not even doing anything that's good to the child. So overcompensation is dangerous in that way. Rather teach your child. Remember how hardship shaped you.
Yeah.
We are here, even though it was hard. But there are things that you could take from that hardship and say, because of this, I am who I am. I also understand that the negativity of the hardship, I'm not going to focus on the negativities. God is here to heal me from this. I'm just going to take all these negativities, give it to God. He will heal my heart. He will heal my mind. He will remove all the memories that when I think of them, they make me cry or make me angry still, thinking about that person as if it happened today. God will heal you when you just submit and surrender all of those hurts and pains, and you go through counseling and you go through spiritual cleansing. You do whatever you need to do, as God, as your source of strength, being God, not anything else. I'm saying God. I don't do anything else but God. So He's been the source of my strength. So I take whatever that's good from my father. I can see a lot of myself in my father. I can see now, some of the strength is actually from my father, although he was that strict. Now that I'm an adult, now that I'm young, he's gone, he's no more young, I can see some of the qualities that are coming up. But the nicest thing about these qualities that are coming up is that they are being reshaped by the Bible, the Word of God, meditation. So they are not coming as rough as it would have been if I did not know God, because I would have obviously raised my child the same way, But now with God, you still are strict and saying, no, I'm not going to give you 1,000 rand. There was a time when my son was 16 years old. I will never forget that one, and I tell it to everybody that he was 16 years old when he came to me and said, "Yeah, my friend is getting 1,000 rand, and the other one is getting 600 rand. You are only giving me 200 rand." I said yes, and by that time, the Holy Spirit said to me, "Tell him that you are the parent, you are the adult in the house, not the other way around. Tell him that he's the child in the house and you are the parent." And by that time, I'm this and he's that high, tall. And I stood like this and I'm like, "Listen here, I am the parent in this house and you are the child in this house. Let me tell you why I give you that 200 rand. It's actually a lot. I should not be giving you anything because you are eating, drinking, sleeping, me and everything else. I'm taking you to school, you lack nothing. The basics needs I provide. Now let me tell you why am I giving you the 200 rand. The 200 rand by that time, airtime was very cheap. I said, in 200 rand, 50 rand is for airtime. You don't have to call me. You don't have to call me. You just send, please call me. I will call. At school, you don't have to call me and say, "Mommy, come and collect me." You go to the office. You ask the secretary, "Can you please call my mother?" So you don't need to use that airtime for those responsibilities. I say the 150. It's because you must go to Mama. Mama is my mother. We all call it Mama. You want to go to Mama now and then. So it's for your taxi fare. And it's for you to go. Coming back, you call me. I must go and pick you up. So you have 150 just to go for the entire month. That 150 is for that. So I was looking at me like, guess what? When he was in matric, the very same children that he mentioned that they were getting whatever, they were mentioned in one of the hearings that they are, influencing bad because of, and it was, it came to my attention that they were actually on drugs. So there's the problem of overcompensation. It's not good. Yeah. Remain strict, set your limits financially in every way.
What are the benefits, if there are any benefits, of kids growing up with both parents?
It's actually a lot of benefits. However, both parents must be on the same page. Okay. Because you can have parents growing with both, children going with both parents, but the parents' philosophical life is completely different. This one is believing in that thing, and this one is believing in the other, which will bring confusion to the kids. No wonder the Bible says we must never be unequally yoked. It also adds to that, because if you are unequally yoked, really your belief system will throw you off, and will throw the way you raise your children off balance. So it's important, number one, that both parents must have the same belief system. They must have the same philosophy, whether it's philosophy, whatever they believe in, whatever they use, or the source of knowledge, wisdom, information, it must be the same. Because when daddy speaks, the children must not run to mommy. Yeah. When mommy speaks, the children must not run to daddy. Yeah. So when one speaks, one parent speaks, the children must know, there's no use to go to mommy. Because they are a team. So you're supposed to be a team. But with the same breath, there will always be a stricter parent, the disciplinarian. And there will always be the softer one who they will go to when the other one is. That is fine, that is okay. As long as they come for comfort and not to manipulate. As long as they come, and me, mommy, maybe I'm the softer one. As long as they come and I still speak the words of Daddy. I still say, yes, baby, I understand, but you must also understand. Daddy is saying this because of 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, you still nurture them in the same direction where Daddy was talking. Even though you are giving comfort, you are still standing. You and Daddy are still a team, and we are all a team. You know, we are saying these things because we are protecting you, and we want the best for you.
You know, you've spoken at length about kids and everything. Have you always wanted to be a teacher?
No, teaching was not my first choice.
What was the first?
I had this crazy idea of, I don't know, I just had this crazy idea of being somewhere in Hollywood.
Doing what?
I don't know. Being with Tyler Perry, I guess.
So how did you get to teaching?
So, I always had this stage because I love stage. So I always had this thing of I will one day be in Joburg doing whatever. But then I also registered with UNISA, doing communications and whatever, trying to go in the line of please. I'm sweating, it's hot. So I was thinking one day I'm going to be in media, in the line of media, because I was doing communication. And then, but I did that while I was already in teaching. So I was in teaching and hoping that I'm going to study this communication thing, public relations. The course was public relation. Excuse me. Thinking I'll be in teaching for 5 years. 5 years, I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm doing journalism. I'm going to be a journalist. That was the aim. So I do have those qualifications of public relations and all of that. But I was unable to graduate because of the 6 months practicals. So you do all your courses, everything. But now, you must do in-service training for 6 months. And then I went to the department, make an inquiry about if I have to leave for 6 months because they wanted it to happen in a public sector, in a public sector, not government. Private sector, not government. So I'm like, can I? Then they told me long stories about if I have to take 6 months leave, then it's going to be unpaid leave and it's going to affect on your pensions and whatever, all of those things. So I'm like, okay, fine, it's fine. I have the theory, it's fine. Then while I was in teaching, after how many years? Because I started in Van Zilsrus. I don't know whether you know Van Zilsrus. Van Zilsrus is in 450 km from Kimberley via Kuruman, almost like 20 km from Botswana, the borders of Botswana, the very outskirts of Northern Cape, very far. So I started there 7 years, but I enjoyed what I was doing. Because when I went for the interview, I trained in Pasima. When I went for the interview, one of the lecturers that interviewed me said, all of your answers are actually are driving towards social worker. You love dealing with children, but in a deeper way, not in a teaching way, but more in a caring way. So because all of my answers was like children 1, 2, 3, 4, so she was like, why don't you become a social worker? You're more caring than than just a teacher. So I'm like, oh, okay, no, it's fine, whatever. So but I got space in Pasima, so we went. So I realized that I really love children. So teaching and social worker would have actually worked. I worked well with kids. I love kids. I just didn't want to be probably in the industry. I don't know why. So coming back home to Kimberley, 2008, that's where I received Christ. I got born again, 2008, and it clicked. That's where it dawned to me that this is your calling. You are not leaving. So knowing Christ and Him showing me all the potentials, everything that He has put inside of me that must go out to these children, I started out, okay, this is who I am. I am a teacher. So even though people like to say, hey, when are you support you are so into the word, people are already calling me Mogorosi, like a preacher. Then I would tell people I'm not a preacher, I'm a teacher. Because in all the fivefold ministry, teaching is also one of the ministries. So teaching is my ministry in essence. 2008, that's the year when I discovered that I am a teacher, not by profession. I am a teacher by calling, by ministry. Yes. So that's where I started.
So what are the plans, ma'am? Going to be a teacher for the rest of your life?
I am a teacher for the rest of my life. Whether I am going on retirement at 60, 65, beyond that, I'm still a teacher. So teaching does not end in school. It does not end within the walls of the school. Teaching goes beyond the walls of the school. Whether I'm teaching adults, whether I'm teaching children, I will continue teaching. I am sure even right now as I'm speaking, I'm teaching you a lot.
A lot.
Yes.
Definitely.
You are learning.
I did.
Yes. So that's the type of teaching, the type of calling. I teach the word, I teach whatever that God says, go and tell them about this.
Ma'am, what are the common challenges that you guys encounter as teachers when it comes to our kids at school?
We spoke earlier on about these generations, the new generation. The common challenges is discipline, and I think parenting. I think it's very sad. I'm going to say it with all due, humble, contrite, and respect for I think it's the Gen Z. Yeah, this generation, now. Yeah. They grew up in an era where apartheid was just abolished and rights were given carelessly. They were still young babies, so rights were given unto them carelessly. Without responsibilities. So they grew up knowing that I've got the rights to what you don't have the right to speak to me in that manner and what. So in that way, they also disrespected their parents. So the parents could not shape them. They were shaped by democracy and the world, right? Nothing wrong with democracy, is good. But the carelessness of just speaking democracy and forgetting the very same people that are speaking democracy, they forget that they are there. They are today lawyers, they are doctors, they are professionals because of the lack of rights maybe in that area that actually make them to persist and pursue education and become better people. And the sad part of it is that they just threw this new dispensation onto these kids who are now today's parents. They are now today's parents. Can you imagine growing a child in that manner? Can you imagine this child is growing, this child is still saying, yeah, I've got the right to what, but at the age of 18, this child is a parent. At the age of 22, this child is a parent. So this child is now in grade R now, or grade 2 or 3. This child had nothing that you had in terms of morals, values, in terms of respect, in terms of submission, in terms of, hey, that's not how we do things. All that was fed on this child was, you've got the right, there you're right, you're right. So now you birth a child that you are going to also say, you've got the right. So now you are both children that are born in this, and nobody is actually helping anyone. So that's the challenges that we are having. We have a parent that cannot properly parent a child because the parenting then, or you understand, the child, and now we have a child who is controlling the parent because the parent cannot deal with this child. We have parents that are saying literally, ma'am, I don't know what to do any longer. Ma'am, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this child. But it's a parent. So now the challenge becomes, if you as a parent don't know what to do, what do you expect me to do?
As a teacher.
As a teacher. So there's a moral decay somewhere. There is really we're losing the generations. We're busy losing the generation of the Ama2K. We are busy losing the ones that are still coming because they are from this parenting of 1994. Yes. So there's a whole entire generation that is busy getting lost. And there's the challenges that we are sitting with. I had to learn to adjust my mindset because I was going to be frustrated. Remember, I'm from the I'm from the apartheid era where things were done differently, and now coming into this new dispensation where corporal punishment is abolished, so many things are abolished. It's confusion. Now you are sitting in a class full of children that you cannot do anything to. So it becomes a challenge because you don't know how to instill discipline because the parent don't know how to instill discipline. So even in this generation, some of the teachers are the same. They're very young. They are the same generation of that grew up in that era of birth rights. You understand? So now this parent and this teacher and this child, they are of the same generation.
They're all confused.
Oh Lord. Now, sometimes you just have to use your wisdom as the manager of the school. I just want to see how this thing is going to. Because now it's the same generation trying to resolve matters and everybody's speaking the same language. You can't tell the other one, this one. The teacher says, I also have the right. The parent, my child's got the right. The child, I've got the right. So it's a really, it's a challenge. So you, with your wisdom, must come in with your wisdom and say, this teacher, listen, this is how it works. This and this, don't see it like this. You're going to frustrate yourself. This is frustrating. So yes, there's a lot of frustration going on here. We are in the lost era. This era is just not. You need to really know your source of strength and wisdom as to how to deal with the challenges that we are facing in school. We are being faced with discipline, ill-disciplined parents, ill-disciplined children. We are faced with children that are not interested in learning. The culture of learning is gone. Technology is good, but it can, if we are going to abuse technology, if we are not going to be also, everything that we get, which is good, if we are going to overuse it or overcompensate, you spoke earlier about overcompensation and all of that. There's the very same thing that's happening with technology as well. There's the very same thing that's happening. There's over access to technology, over access to rights, over access to whatever that is not shaping the child in a way that will build morals and values. So we're sitting with those challenges. A cell phone is accessible even to a 2-year-old, and they see whatever they want to see. They are exposed to sexual immoralities. They are exposed. We are sitting with those things where a grade R child, we have to quickly sit as a disciplinary committee and discuss, or a school based support team to talk about the child who's exposed to sexual immoralities, a grade 1 who's exposed to those things. So we are sitting with those challenges. We are sitting with academic challenges where in the past our parents were not even involved in our homework. We did our own homework. They did not even care what's happening, but we were passing. But today the system is in such a way that when they created the system, when the not caps, OBE, when OBE was introduced, one of the reason or ideas of introducing OBE was to get parental involvement in the child's education. But I think one of the mistakes that the system did was forgetting that, especially the black community. Black community's parents are scattered. Some parents are minors, they are working far away. They are not here. Some parents, the mothers are working still in the kitchens, they are sleeping there. So most of our black communities are actually being raised by grandparents and aunts and all of that. So the parental involvement was not that thing that they tried to, that gap that they tried to curb. They forgot about those things. You know, your social, economic challenges that causes our parents not to be present. So you focus on parental involvement in school, but you forget to focus on other aspects.
Practical.
Other aspects. Your Employment Act, how our parents employed wherever they are. Are they able to come home? Are they able to be with us here every day? To check our homeworks, to do whatever you have in mind regarding parental involvement. So that lacked a lot. The one thing also with the black community, I think, but it's happening even right now across the races. Young, old, everybody. That parental involvement it's not happening the way it's supposed to be happening, the way they intended for it to happen.
I actually wanted to ask that question, which is, how can we as parents help you teachers or do better in as far as ensuring that we help our kids, we help you as well, or make things easier for we as teachers?
I actually wanted to touch on, that's why I'm touching on other aspects, because you're a parent, you're working, you've got a 9 to 5 job, and you've got other responsibility. So when this parental involvement was introduced, what I'm trying to say is they did not consider parents' responsibility outside school. The other engagements outside school that might hinder on the parent becoming fully involved the way they wanted the parents, or the way that we would want parents to be fully involved. Because the parents, they've got their own stresses, there's divorces at home, there's all those things, all those, so the aspects, home, the social home, the homely, the domestic aspects that perhaps the system overlooked when they were just looking at the school. So as a school, we would want the parent to be involved in, not just in homework, checking the homework, not just in checking, yes, those are very imperative. Check homework, check if your child, we're not saying do your child's homework, we're saying sit here with your child and make your child do homework while you are sitting. And become the parent and say, do homework, I'm sitting here. Mommy, no, but no, I'm not going to do this. Okay, yes, my phone, do your research, I'm here. do research, monitor the phone, monitor whatever. But also it's important to check their emotions. So when you're done with homework, all of those things, check their friends. What type of friends are they involved with? Check what type of influence the friends have on them, or what type of influence they have on their friends. Check their spiritual growth. What are you doing together as family? So your involvement does not just also end between the walls of the school. Back home, what is happening when we are not there? What is your relationship with your child? Are you able, you as a parent, see the things that I see in school? And when I tell you that this is what I'm seeing, are you going to be in denial? Or are you going to come closer to me and say, hey ma'am, I heard you said, can we talk? I just want to understand a little bit. Maybe I'm lost. So you need to see from my eyes, the perspective where I'm standing from. Not just your eyes, because your eyes can be deceiving. You're a parent. A parent, sometimes we don't see what our children, we don't see. So we're wearing blinders all the time. So it's important that when I speak, we speak from the same page. Yes, you might find teachers that are, we humans, we're all humans. We might find teachers that are mistaken, about this perspective, your perspective or whatever. You are able to argue that. But if one teacher, it's only one teacher that's seeing that, it's fine. There might be a problem with the teacher. But if it's more than 2, 3, 4, 5 teachers, please remove your spectacles and see and come on board with us so that we can help this child. I mentioned earlier when the children can see whom they can manipulate. So once the parent does not see, that child is forever going to manipulate that parent. And then we will be sitting with the challenge of a parent who's not supported by school and teachers, because the child is manipulating the parent. The child will say whatever and the parent will believe, because the parent does not want to remove those spectacles of ignorance and what. So these are the challenges that we are facing. Personally, I would really plead with parents to really be attentive to what's happening in the child at home and in school, and try to understand the educator when they mention a few aspects that might be, yes. So that's it.
When as we're about to end this, now you mentioned that there's a lot now of young teachers who are from this generation, the confused generation.
It's very sad.
There are those who are not passionate about teaching or do not have the calling, I don't know. What advice would you give to those teachers, especially the young ones? Just words of wisdom in as far as the important role that they play as teachers. Perhaps they don't know, perhaps they're just in it for the salary. I concur with you that this teaching thing is a calling.
It's a calling, yes.
You might not see it now, but it has long-term impact on the kids.
It does.
So once I send my child to Diamantfeld and they meet with whoever who's lost, there's a possibility that my child is going to be lost forever.
Yes.
So what words of wisdom can you share with those young teachers?
Hey, yeah, I'm sweating. I'm sweating. I'm so sorry. Let me get water. Yeah, to the young teachers that are entering. Yeah, it's not easy. Number one, they truly need to first find themselves. You cannot find or guide someone into finding themselves if you yourself did not find yourself. It's very important that you must be really healed to your inner yourself, and if not yet, you are in either the process. You're not just coming, because it's very difficult out there. It's not as easy as it used to be. There's a lot of policies are forcing us to comply. You must comply with whatever law that was set before us. We have Bella law, we have all of those things that are actually forcing you to reshape your mind and come up with new strategies as to how are you going to deal with whatever you need to deal with. We are dealing with the souls. We're not dealing with stones. Children are souls, number one. That's your number one responsibility. You are dealing with your soul. I normally say to people when I speak of kids that or how I see my calling or my duties is that I work as if I'm working for God and not for the department. So I'm not working for a human being. I'm working for God, because He's there looking at me, checking me out whether I'm doing the right thing or what He has, I'm getting a salary because of Him. He allowed me to get this job so that I can get the salary, so that my life can continue, so that I can glorify Him. But it's important that when I get a salary, I'm able to say, thank you, because I have done a good job. And He must also be able to say, yes, you deserve it, because you have done a good job to my souls, to my kids. So it's about the souls. So when you go out there as a young teacher, number one, make sure that you are prepared for the sacrifices. You are emotionally intelligent. If not, you are in the process of growing. You are in the process of healing. You are self-aware. Number one, you need to be self-aware of what's happening inside of you, because if you're not aware, you might just vent. You might just answer however, whatever, and forgetting that whatever you are saying, whatever you are doing, it's actually impacting on these children. You are poisoning. You are either poisoning them, you are either breaking them, you are doing all of these wrong things in them if you are not properly healed. So if you are aware of your internal bleedings, internal wounds, trauma, whatever, and you know that I'm going in the classroom and I'm going to be dealing with souls, whatever it's in me should not really damage them. You are going to be very careful with words. You are going to be very careful with what you are imparting, because you want to impart knowledge, you want to impart wisdom, you want to impart growth, you want to teach them, you want to build them, you are busy building a community, a society. This is a society, this is a community, this is a nation. You are busy birthing. So what is it that you want to birth at the end of the day? Do you want to birth a nation that is more confused? In the very same confusion that we are in, are you going to add to the confusion, or are you going to bring some light to this confusion? Are you going to bring in a mental stability? Are you going to bring in learners that they know how to defend themselves without becoming physical? How to stand for themselves without diminishing the other and becoming really violent, because you want to do away with violence and all of that. You want to really birth a mind that is steadfast, that knows what it wants, that knows how to to bring patriotism in the mind of a child. This is for the country, this is for us, this is for the nation. Patriotism plays a very important role. What type of a patriot are you going to be to your country? What leadership are you going to impact on? What type of leader are you bringing up? Because one day this young mind is either going to be sitting at the corner smoking dacha and whatever, and becoming part of the problem to your own self, because this very young child can go to your house and harass you every night and break in and whatever. So they need to come in knowing exactly what is it that they want to shape. Are you going to shape a lawyer? Are you going to shape a president? Are you going to... These people are either going to make our country worse or better. And it is upon us. It is me as a young teacher that's coming with it. That imparting that in every way, psychologically, emotionally, spiritually, academically, you are imparting. Every day that you are spending with a child, you are imparting. So, yes, I'm not saying every child that you are touching, that you are imparting on, that is in your classroom is going to be this dynamic child. I'm not saying that. Some of them, they fall off the way. But you must be able to say at the end of the day, I have tried my best. I did everything that I could do to reshape this child. I could see this child's life going the other way, and I kept on calling, and I kept on calling, I kept on consulting the father, the mother. I kept on doing what I needed to do. From January to December, I did it. At the end of the day, I did not fail. I did my duties. When this child failed, it's not on me. So your conscience should be clear. Your conscience, you must be able to work with a clear conscience. One day, if that child did not make it, and you are able to say, do you remember how I fought for you? Because I still meet with them, those kids. And I said, do you remember how I fought for you? And they would say, ma'am, I remember how you fought for me. So they must remember how you fought for them. To become better people, to become more than you. Because I always say, please don't become a teacher if I taught you. Become more than what I am. Become a lawyer. Because your success is my honor. So you must be able to, as a young teacher, go in there, not for the salary, but because you have produced a lawyer, somebody better than you, somebody who, even if they are one day out of just a calling, become a teacher, they will be a better teacher than you were a teacher. So there's nothing scary in teaching. Only when you know your purpose. You must know your purpose. There's a purpose for you to be here. So go there with that purpose and understand that you are there to groom and grow a nation.
Now, let's speak to the parents like myself. What advice would you give to us? We've been trying, approaching a new year. How can I do better? How can I become a better parent to my kids at home? How can I become a better parent, an active parent who can work closely with you guys as teachers?
Yeah, a better parent, better parenting at home and at school. I think I have already delved a lot on that. It's just for you. I will make an example with my situation. I am a teacher. My child was in another school. So when I go to school, I go as a parent. I don't go as a teacher. I don't go as a lawyer. I don't go as my title. I go there as a teacher to listen to the teacher. Giving me what he or she is experiencing about my child. The things that the teacher knows that are going to shape this child. So I listen. Oh, your child is doing this and that and that and that and that. All right. How can then I assist? What? For me, fortunately, I'm a teacher. I know what a disturbing child can do in the classroom. So I understand what the teacher is going through, obviously. So now it's my duty as a parent to go and assist that teacher at home about my child, because I can also see some of the things I see. It's not like I don't see. I see when the teacher says, hey, he's walking up and down, climbing the desk and screaming, and I know. Why am I now being, why do I want to be defensive, So I go home and I work with my son. In my case, my son was diagnosed with ADHD or ADD, attention deficit disorder.
Which is very common.
It's common. It's like the devil is busy. So he was diagnosed with that. And the easiest way, it's normal, it has become a norm even now. School will just recommend retinol. Give your child Ritalin, this, whatever to calm their minds. Unfortunately, we are in an era where everybody, the system is creating lazy parents, lazy children, everybody is just lazy. So it's easy when we use medication and we use phones, and so the system is misleading. The system of the world, the system of this world. I had to research. I went to the doctors, I researched, I asked, what is this ADA? What is happening in my child's brain? I want to know. So we went for scans and whatever, and we went to neurologist. Yeah. We went there, he was scanned, and I asked, what is actually happening for a child to be so hyper and not attentive? So she explained to me. She said, this is what's happening to the nervous system. The nervous system is doing this all the time, and that causes you to have attention. So a child with a attention deficit, the nervous system is like this. They are not touching. So they're supposed to be touching, but they are not. They are like this. So hence the child is able to hear every noise that is happening. So for this path makes the child, or allows or causes the child, the brain, to pick up everything that is happening. So the dog is barking outside, he's sitting in the classroom, but he hears the dog, lorry, whatever, everything. So he hears and he reacts. So the brain is reacting to everything that he's hearing. I'm like, oh, okay. So I take that for myself and I take it to the Lord. So remember, my source is God. So I take everything that the teacher is saying. What is he doing? He's jumping on the floor, he's whatever. And then what's the other thing? He's violent in the classroom. What is the other thing? So I will take all this and I'm going to work on these things at home with him. And I would really fall on my knees and I would pray for my child. I would really fast and pray and like, Lord, you did not give me a child as a burden. Your word says children are gifts and not burden. What is this thing that it feels like a burden to me? It took me a whole what? How many years? Your schooling year. praying, talking to God, praying, talking to God. Nothing back to the teachers. Nothing negative back to the teachers. I'm just going there to listen to the progress because I'm praying. I need to hear is there. So I would be called. If when I started, they mentioned five things or 10 things in grade 1. Grade 1 it was like 10 things. Your child 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Go to grade 2. The teacher with the same frustration, but the teacher mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I would ask, is he not doing number 1 and 2? No, ma'am, he's not. He's just 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, so it's working. Go back home. Tackle 8, 9. In the name of Jesus, Lord, you did not give me this child as a burden. You said children are gift. I'm fighting at home, and I speak with him, and I talk to him, and I fight with him, and I do everything, and we sit nights, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock with books, study. You are going to study. We are going to sit here and study. Here's coffee, drink, do your assignment, finish your assignment. It's 3 a.m. Go, let's sleep. 5 o'clock we are awake, drink coffee. Come, let's go to school, supporting him day and night. I'm talking these things of coffee, I'm talking now metric. Wake him up, the heater, it's June exam, put heater, take, I'm sitting here, I'm sitting here with my files, I'm doing my files, you are doing your work. You are frustrated with me because I'm this parent who's just here. Yeah, who's pushing. You are sitting here, write that essay, someone net rough, read the essay. You can do better, you are going to rewrite. So my son was literally frustrated with me. You are going to rewrite, and this time you could have written, you could have used this synonym, you could have used the here and there. Mind you, I'm working with school, and school is begging me up. So I have the principal who said to me, I remember Mrs. Fenter in Northern Cape High. Mrs. Fenter who said to me, ma'am, if he can only do this assignment in 1 and 2 and 3, we will take those assignments. We will put them in as exams. And it will, because he failed now. And September is coming. September is not going to assist him. The June mark must assist him. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4. We need assignment 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm sitting with him day and night. You are going to sit. We are going to do those assignments. Now, when I take that essay, remember this is a second opportunity from the school. I'm working with the school. I cannot allow you to take a lousy project to school while it's a second opportunity. So we shall sit 12, 1, 2, 3 until you get it right. That child was looking at me like he could kill me. So the second time around, I read, Mark, I'm the teacher still. Mark. Yeah, you could have done it the first time. Why didn't you do it? Right, it's beautiful. It's nice, beautiful. Yeah, this one can be submitted. Submit, good marks. Over and over and over and over. When he passed matric, he came to me and said, I did not write that paper, you wrote it. Thank you. So the support comes to that extent. Unfortunately, the system, when the system said parental involvement, we were pushed to that level, where you will study your child's patterns, the sleep patterns, so that you can accommodate him in his sleep patterns. Is he a night owl or morning? You must now adjust to their sleep patterns so that when they wake up, you are up with them. And you sit with them and you study with them there. I'm talking about the challenging children, not the ones that are self-disciplined. I'm talking about the ones that you must be there all the way. And mind you, I mentioned earlier on, the system has created this thing of easy out, the easy way out. Medication would be one of them. I removed, after making research, doing my research and asking doctors and trying to find out, so that I can take whatever I have, all the data that I've collected, I must take it to prayer, to the Lord, and say, there's no way you can give me a child that is not doing this. He will do this. So whatever is happening here, it will do. They will come together. So it's a matter of working extra hard and really depending on what, and really submitting your children to the Lord, because He created them. The enemy comes and steal, kill, and destroy. That's what the Bible says. So he comes, he steal, kill, and destroy. And if you are not a vigilant parent, the enemy will just steal. You will just be saying, hey, this child is out of order, what. It will be the works of the enemy working in your life and your child's life as a parent. So parents must help us to, they must go deeper, not just here, surface level. Go deep and find out, why is this child behaving like this? What are my child's pattern? Unfortunately, like I said, parental involvement has forgotten to check the employment of parents. Some parents are employed, they're doing night shifts, they are not there for their kids at night, and that's where the children are really going astray. I am really thankful that I'm a teacher. A teacher means you are with your child when the schools are closed, the time that you're basically in school together. So that gave me the opportunity to be present. So parents must be present. All I'm saying is that be present even in the middle of the night with your child. Study their schedule, study their habits, and adjust your life. I'm going to again go back to the millennial parents where they are in the groove. They must go and groove. And sometimes they meet with their kids and the groove. How is this assisting us? It's not. We are not getting assisted. So when we talk of assistance, we are talking at all levels, not just homework. Assist me by not going to the same groove place as your child. You will be assisting me at school. Assist me by realizing and recognizing that my child is at that stage where if he sees me do these things, he's going to think that it's a norm.
It's the right thing.
It's the right thing to do. I need to refrain from doing that, so that when I speak to my child about it, he must understand, Papa is not doing it, so I'm not going to do it. You must assist us in a way where foul language is unacceptable. You must assist us where if you hate me as a teacher, and you're not hating me just because really I did something bad. You are hating me because I'm showing you the flaws. As a teacher, we're showing parents flaws. Ne? We're showing. When we call you, we're going to show you the flaws that's taking place. It might be flaws at home. Everybody is flawed. Nobody is perfect. No household is perfect. I'm telling you my own story, which was flawed. Which is still flawed, which we are still working on it. So when the teacher calls me, the teacher is showing us the flaws. I had to see the flaws of my child. I had to see my flaws, and I had to improve, improvise, come up with strategy. How am I going to deal with these things so that my child, I bring up a healthy child, so that it's not jumping into the next generation. Out of him, I'm bringing another generation. So help us to become a mature parent. When I have offended you as a teacher, yes, I have flaws, I can offend you. Don't go and speak in front of your child about it, about me, and say, that teacher, every time the children are here, they are listening. We are molding them. So I am unable to speak to the child and mold them, because already you have set the standard at home that we are not respecting the teacher. So when I speak to that child as a teacher and says, hey, you are not going to disrespect me, the child is able to say, I don't care, you can go and tell my mother. So because the mother has set a standard at home that even if you tell my mother won't do anything. So parents, support us in that way. blow your gasket wherever the child is not. Even if you really hate on me, in front of your child, tell your child you respect your teacher. Tell your child you are not going to speak like that in front of your teacher. You still respect, even though you are still hating on me, even though you think I am a racist or I am a whatever you might think about me. You have the right to think that about me, but protect your child. Remember, it's about your child. It's not about me. Protect your child from your own opinions about me, because it's your own opinions. It's not even, sometimes it's not even my character. I'm not like that. It's your opinions. So protect your child against your own opinions. I had a parent who came to me. I was still a teacher in the classroom. I was not in the office. So I carried my strictness in my class. This is my class. You have given me the responsibility to be a parent from 7:30 till 1:30. So those are my time frame. You are not a parent then. You will come when I call you. So I beginning of the year, I would set a routine, strict routine for my kids, line up from shortest to the tallest, and just before school out, 5 minutes before school out, you line them up outside the door from tall to tallest. You wait up until the bell rings. So there was parents would just want to come and grab their kids. You stand here. Children will be nervous and say, my mom is waiting for me. My mom says I must go out of the queue and run to her. I said, you stand here until I say you leave. So I would be that strict. But in the classroom, I mentioned earlier on, you must strike a balance. Be strict and soft, be strict and soft, to allow your kids to have trust in you, depend on you and all of that. You must have that relationship. So this particular parent secretly hated on me for being that strict. I hate this teacher. But I was okay. I'm okay with being hated. You see, if you are not okay with being hated when you are doing the right thing, you will forever be on the mercy of people. Yeah. You understand? Because now you must shape your life to please.
To please them.
So how many people are you going to please? And you are not doing the right thing. By pleasing people, so your job is suffering, your integrity is suffering, your values, morals are suffering, because now you must please everybody. So now I'm pleasing the job, my calling. I'm pleasing my calling. So the parent, I'm hating on this one. January, February. But now what the child is taking home is completely different from what the mother is. How she feels. The child is like, teacher, Rochelle, teacher, oh my teacher, this teacher. At home, the kids are simulating the teacher. They are doing this and this. Mother's like, you're supposed to be hating your teacher, Wena. Not loving her like this. And then at the end of the year, the mother came to me and said, hey teacher, I hated you. But the way my child loves you, I can't. I don't understand. I ended up just having to love you because my child loves you. I can see what you're doing to my child. I can see what impact you have on my child. I can see. I am so sorry. I'm here to confess. I don't hate you any longer. I'm like, no man, don't worry. I understand. This thing, you are not the first parent. So it's human nature. Human nature resists changes. It resists correction. It resists strictness. It resists order. That's the human nature. Once you're a teacher or a leader and you understand that I'm going to do this, but it's going to come with a lot of resistance. It's going to come with some hatred from other people, but it's going to be temporary. Don't worry. Don't dwell into that. Out of this thing, they will see the goodness of it. They don't see it now, but they will see it later. So yes, that's what life is all about in general, including teaching and learning, the teaching and the learning environment. That's what is happening.
And finally, now in closing our conversation, You've had kids that finished this year that you've worked with. You have your team at Diamantfeld. You have your support, your SGB, and everybody else. What would you like to say to them now, in closing 2025?
2025, yeah. To my you have. I always have this. There's Jesus.
Yeah.
I will always point back to the Bible. You know that. You already should me know.
Yeah, no, that was true.
There's this scenario of Jesus where he had his outer cycle, then there's another inner cycle, then the inner cycle that closes. So in life you happen to have those people in general. So you have the ones that really understands you, the ones that really knows that we have to pray. When they know my language, my emotions and everything. They read me. They can read me. When I enter the room, they already know. When I just say, listen, we just need to pray, they are there, they know. And they will just say, ma'am, we are praying for you. Ma'am, we are praying for you. So you have those ones that are, I guess I can say, I haven't connected them with me, you know. Moses had, when he was in a battle with the enemy, Israel was in a battle with the enemy, Moses had to be held, his arms was to be held up high. In fact, he was supposed to hold the staff up on his own, like this. As long as he's holding the staff up, the Israelites would win the battle. So, but because of a human body, you get tired and you want to drop. So the minute you drop, the enemy would defeat the Israelites. So he had Aaron, and he had the friends that had to hold him on both hands, so that the staff must be lifted up, so that the battle must be won and victory must prevail. So you have those ones that are holding you up in prayers. I think every leader must have those ones. You know, I think God has actually provided each and every leader with those ones. You must just notice them. I think some leaders, maybe they don't notice them. You must just notice them, and you must appreciate them and continuously pray for them. Because remember, the fight is actually consistently happening, continuously happening. So you need to also protect them in prayer and all of that. So I would like to say they know themselves. I'm not going to mention names. They are really assist. They are really part of this winning. They make heaven to fight for us, to fight on our behalf, to fight for our children, their Manfeld, to fight all the evils. Yeah, all the schools have their own challenges. We've got drug challenges, we've got vape challenges, we've got disciplinary challenges, we've got all these challenges. But with this team, we always circle back to, guys, we need to pray. This is not on. This is too much. This is now an attack. Our children cannot continue like this. So I would like to tell them, my prayer warriors, my supporters in prayer, you know yourself, I'm not going to mention your name. I really appreciate you. You guys are like the Aaron, the friends of Moses that are consistently holding the staff up, so that the battle can continuously be won and victory will prevail. Victory must prevail. I want to really say I bless you, and I pray for you as much as you are praying for me, and I thank you for carrying the Manfeld in prayer, and I thank you for your patience, and I thank you for your strength, and especially your sacrifices, because we are sacrificing a lot. You know, we're sacrificing time, we're sacrificing all of that. So thank you so much, and God really bless you. To the entire team of Dear Manfeld, I just want to tell this entire team that we are from an era where we did not understand ourselves in the beginning. When I came into being, when I was appointed, there was a lot of confusion, a lot of strains and tension and all of that. But because of God, because of prayer, and everybody in school who was involved in prayer, everyone, there was a time where everyone was involved in prayer. Your prayers broke those barriers. Your prayers made us to become one. Your prayers made us to unite. Your prayers made us to start understanding each other and the dynamics that we are functioning from. Your prayers made us to focus on what is important, which is the child. We are at a period where the most important thing now is the child. And I want to really bring that awareness to you if you are not aware, or if you have not been aware, that God has brought us to our purpose. Everyone in their Manfeld, from the cleaners to the admin to the educators, there's a sense of purpose. Everybody knows why they are there. When I speak of the cleaners, when I call in the cleaners, and they bring their opinions, they bring their, they can tell me, they can say to me, ma'am, I think there we must do this, there's a plumbing problem there. I think we must do 1, 2, 3, 4. It's welcomed with so much respect. You know, they are coming in with so much respect because finally everybody found their purpose. And it was because of those prayers, it was because of God being with us. So I want to really say to each and everyone who's playing the part from grade R, nurturing those small minds up until grade 7, preparing them for a tertiary level or high school, to the cleaners, to the admin. Guys, you are such a great team. Wait and see the goodness of God. Wait, just continue doing what you're doing, because God is going to reward us in a way that we never expected. The parents of Dear Manfeld, I know we've got parents that are really, I've met with parents that are saying, ma'am, we are praying for you. Ma'am, we are praying for the school. Ma'am, we can see what you are doing. I know that there are parents that probably doubted us when we started as management, but now they are coming on board. And I just want to say to parents, you know, we are thankful for you guys for choosing Dear Manfeld. We are not yet there as yet. We are not where we want to be as yet, but we thank you for your support. We thank you for understanding the transition. Transitioning is not easy, but we thank you that you are understanding the transitioning, and you are trying your best. We are seeing a lot of parents are coming in. They are honoring their appointments. That is for me the most important thing when seeing parents coming in. You know, after parent meeting, there's reflection on how was the meeting. Educators are talking, and we are thankful because there's a lot of positive feedback as we reflect on how we are involving parents in. So we thank you for your continued support. It's not 100% parental involvement. But those that are coming, it's a bigger percentage that I can say we are thankful for, that can really make us to be grateful. Last but not least, the SGB of the Amanfeld Primary School. Sorry, I said to this SGB, SGB, can you please also stand for the coming circle? Because you have been a great SGB. We are fixing so many things in terms of policy. They are on board, they are working, they are introducing so many things. They are in agreement with what we want to see in school. What we say as educator, from the educator membership, when we come with a parent component of the SGB, we sort of speak. They are very inquisitive. They ask questions. They want to know what's happening, and they are asking this question because they want to assist. They want to know. So I like the way they are coming in and trying to assist the school. So I'm saying to them, thank you ever so much for. 2025 was one of the greatest year in Amanfeld in terms of relationships across the board, from parents, school, learners, SGB. We've built beautiful relationships, and once the human resource is taken care of, all these other resources will be taken care of. Because when there is this draft and pulling and pushing, the human resources suffers. So you don't want your human resource to suffer, because now what's going to happen with others? The driving force is the human resource. So I want to say thank you to the SGB for playing your part in such a brilliant way in assisting the school with policies. When we have to sit long meetings, we are not complaining. And all the meetings that we sit are so productive. I always say I don't mind sitting long hours as long as there's fruit from that conversation. Yeah.
No, thank you very much.
Yes.
Wishing you all of the best.
Yeah.
No, thank you for.
Thank you for inviting me.
Okay. There was another episode of In Your Face podcast with Nicola Nigaya. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and also comment on our videos and everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you.